How to answer any interview question confidently. If job interviews make you nervous, you are not alone. A lot of people think confidence means having perfect answers, speaking like a robot, or never feeling stressed. But that is not true at all. Real confidence in an interview comes from knowing how to stay calm, structure your thoughts, and answer clearly even when the question feels difficult or unexpected. And that is exactly what this video is about. In this guide, I will show you how to answer any interview question confidently, even if you do not know the perfect response right away. Because the truth is, interviewers are not just listening to your answer. They are also paying attention to how you think, how you communicate, and how you handle pressure. So once you learn the right method, you will stop panicking, stop overthinking, and start sounding more prepared, more professional, and more confident in every interview. Tell me about yourself. Let's start with the first thing you need to understand. Most interview questions are not random. Even when they sound very different, they usually test one of a few key things. The interviewer wants to know if you can do the job, if you can solve problems, if you communicate well, if you fit the team, and if you can stay professional under pressure. Once you realize that, interviews become much easier. Instead of thinking, what is the perfect answer, you start thinking, what is this question really trying to find out about me? That simple shift makes a huge difference. Because when you understand the purpose behind the question, you stop feeling trapped and start feeling in control. And that is where confidence begins. Why do you want to work here? Now here is the biggest mistake many candidates make. They try to memorize full answers for every possible question. That sounds smart at first, but in real interviews, it usually makes people sound stiff, nervous, and unnatural. Why? Because the moment the interviewer changes the wording even slightly, the memorized answer falls apart. Instead of memorizing, you need a simple answering method that works for almost any question. A strong answer usually has 4 parts. First, answer the question clearly. Second, give a short reason or explanation. Third, support it with an example if needed. And fourth, connect it back to the role. That is it. This structure helps you sound organized, professional, and confident, even when the question is unexpected. What are your strengths? Let me show you how this works. Imagine the interviewer asks, what are your strengths? A weak answer would be something vague like, I am hardworking and a team player. That sounds common and forgettable. A stronger answer would be, one of my biggest strengths is staying organized under pressure. In my previous work and academic projects, I made it a habit to plan tasks clearly, manage deadlines carefully, and keep communication simple. That helped me complete work on time and avoid unnecessary mistakes. I believe this strength would help me contribute well in a fast-paced role like this. See the difference? The second answer is specific, calm, and connected to the job. That is what confidence sounds like. What is your biggest weakness? Now let's talk about difficult questions, because this is where many people lose confidence. Questions like, what is your biggest weakness? Or why should we hire you? Can feel stressful. But these questions are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to test your self-awareness and communication. For a weakness question, never say you have no weaknesses, and never choose something that makes you look careless or impossible to work with. Pick a real but manageable weakness, then show how you are improving it. For example, earlier, I used to spend too much time trying to make everything perfect, which sometimes slowed me down. But I have been working on balancing quality with efficiency by setting clearer time limits and focusing on what matters most. That answer sounds honest, mature, and confident. Why should we hire you? For why should we hire you? The mistake is trying to sound too impressive without saying anything real. Confidence is not about big words. It is about clarity. A strong answer could be, you should hire me because I bring a combination of willingness to learn, strong communication, and a serious work ethic. I take responsibility for my work, I adapt quickly, and I focus on doing tasks properly rather than just finishing them fast. I also understand the importance of teamwork and professionalism, and I am ready to contribute positively from the beginning. That answer works because it is direct, relevant, and easy to believe. Interviewers trust answers that sound grounded, not exaggerated. Tell me about a challenge you faced. Another powerful way to answer confidently is by using examples from real life. When interviewers ask behavioral questions like, tell me about a challenge you faced, they want proof, not just claims. The best way to answer is with a simple story structure. Describe the situation, explain the task, show the action you took, and end with the result. You do not need to make it long or dramatic. Keep it clear. For example, during a group project, one team member stopped contributing close to the deadline. I stepped in, reorganized the remaining tasks, communicated with the group clearly, and made sure the important parts were completed on time. As a result, we submitted successfully, and I learned the value of staying calm and solution-focused under pressure. That kind of answer instantly sounds more confident because it is based on something real. How do you handle pressure? Now let's talk about delivery, because a good answer can still sound weak if your delivery feels shaky. Confidence in interviews is not only about what you say. It is also about how you say it. Speak a little slower than your nervous mind wants you to. Pause briefly before answering difficult questions. That pause does not make you look unprepared. It makes you look thoughtful. Keep your tone steady and clear. Do not rush to fill every second with words. And most importantly, do not apologize too much. Some candidates start answers with phrases like, "Sorry, I am nervous," or "This may be a bad answer." Never weaken yourself before you even begin. Start calmly and directly. Even if you feel nervous inside, a steady structure and a calm pace will make you appear much more confident outside. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Another smart trick is to focus on progress, not perfection. Many candidates think they need the perfect answer to impress the interviewer. But interviewers are usually not looking for perfection. They are looking for professionalism, self-awareness, and the ability to think clearly. So if you do not know the ideal answer right away, do not panic. Start with what you do know. For example, if they ask, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" and you do not have a perfect long-term plan, you can still answer confidently by saying, "In 5 years, I hope to have grown strongly in my skills, taken on more responsibility, and built a solid reputation as someone reliable and valuable to the team. I am focused on learning, improving, and creating long-term professional growth." That sounds realistic and confident without pretending you know every detail of the future. Why did you leave your last job? Let's also cover one of the most important confidence rules in interviews. Never let difficult questions make you defensive. If the interviewer asks about a gap in your resume, a mistake, low experience, or leaving a previous job, stay calm and professional. Do not blame others. Do not sound bitter. Do not over-explain. Give a clean answer. Show what you learned, and move forward. For example, "I left my previous role because I wanted better growth opportunities and a position where I could continue developing my skills. I appreciate what I learned there, but I felt ready for a new challenge." That answer stays positive, mature, and confident. Interviewers respect candidates who can handle sensitive topics without losing control. Do you have any questions for us? And finally, remember this. Confidence is not about acting fearless. It is about staying composed, thinking clearly, and communicating with purpose. You do not need to know every answer instantly. You do not need to sound like someone else. You just need a method. Understand what the interviewer is really asking. Use a clear structure. Give relevant examples. Keep your tone calm. And treat every question as an opportunity to show how you think. Once you start doing that, interviews become much less intimidating. You stop trying to survive them, and you start learning how to lead them with confidence. So before your next interview, do not just prepare answers. Prepare your approach, because when your approach is strong, your confidence will show in every single response. And that can completely change the way interviewers see you.